Hey guys, welcome back. Today I want to talk about the branded cards coming out in Cyberstorm Access, which is the next set. I believe it's coming out on like the first week in May or something like that. So I just want to talk through them and give my opinions on whether or not you need to pick them up on, pre-release day or anytime in the future. You might be worried, I'm about to pick up a branded deck, but it's getting a whole bunch of new support. Am I going to have to spend a whole lot more money? So let's go ahead and talk about those things. See how good these new cards are, see what they're going to do for the deck, and which ones you might want to consider grabbing a copy or two. So let's start off with the first one, Bystial Aluber. This card is treated as Fallen of Albaz in the field or grave, just like Albion the Shrouded Dragon. When you normal or special it, you can discard one and target a dragon your opponent controls. Either take control of it or special summon. This is super niche, and I think it's lore based and not playable at all for the branded strategy in reality. You don't really have to worry about grabbing any copies of these at the pre-release. This is kind of just a lore completion card. It's really cool looking artwork. That's great, but we're not going to be touching this in our branded list going forward. The next one, Guiding Quem the Virtuous. This card is probably the most viable card out of the new cards, but it's still not going to be a game breaker. I suspect this will be a secret rare and a Starlight rare, and if you want to pick it up, go ahead, but it's a one of at most. The reason is that it enables some combos. It helps you get to branded fusion a little better, and I think my favorite part about it is that if you open Aluber and branded opening, you can use branded opening to get into this to kind of dump like a retribution or something. So your opening isn't totally dead if you open both opening and Aluber. So I could even see one Aluber getting cut for this card, but unfortunately every list or most lists that I see play Quem also rely on branded and high spirits, and I think branded and high spirits is absolutely terrible because it can be good, but it's only really good when you play a lot of Bystials in your deck, and right now in the meta, Bystials are absolutely terrible. So that being said, you don't want to play high spirits, and Quem loses a lot of value if you're not playing high spirits. So I think we're just going to pretty much leave it out of the deck to start. I think you should have a copy at hand in case the meta shifts to where Bystials are good. And then we might consider putting one in. You can put one in, but I think it's going to be kind of like people are excited about the new cards. They're going to force it into their decks and play a little bit suboptimal build just to play the new stuff. And I don't think it's going to be that worth it. So, pick one up to have it ready, but you don't really need it to be competitive with branded. The Boundless Open Land I've included because it's an Albaz card. So pretty much if your opponent special summons an extra deck monster or a ritual, you can add a Fallen of Albaz or a card that mentions it. It's kind of like branded Lost, but for when your opponent summons something, which is okay. But the only real application of this is if your opponent summons something, you can search a Tri-Brigade Mercurier for a hand trap. But this card is not searchable. Yeah, it's unplayable as well, unfortunately. Unless they rename it to something branded, this one is kind of out of the question as well. So far 1 for 3 on potential cards. Okay, the next one is more branded trap cards. So when you see branded trap cards, you should think, I will be setting this card in the end phase when I send Albion the Branded Dragon to the graveyard. So what Blazing Branded King does is that it allows you to negate the effects of all other cards on the field if you control a fusion monster that uses Albaz as material. So that's actually kind of nice. It's a negate. It also negates spell and traps. So pretty much the way that works is if your opponent activates a spell card, it's face up until it resolves. So you can chain Blazing Branded King to negate all face-up cards in the field, including that spell card that's waiting to resolve, and it will resolve negate it. Yeah, it's just a little bit of clarification on how that works, but it's kind of cool. I do see it as a niche card, and I bet it won't be that high of rarity. So I would pick this up in case some meta shift comes. If pendulums get really good, this will negate all their scales effects as well. So that's kind of cool. So I would just have this in your pocket, but right now it's just not good enough to be playing. The next one is kind of fancy. It's branded Etude. So this one says that any monster your opponent uses for extra deck material or for ritual material gets banished instead, but that's only while you control a Bystial. So as we've been over, Bystials suck right now. You're not going to be controlling a Bystial anytime soon. Yeah, you can have Bystial Lubellion up, but half the time you use Lubellion like to continue playing, to like use as combo piece, so you don't want to just stop on Lubellion necessarily. So this is going to be kind of dead anyways. Plus, if they clear you Lubellion, they get like a 2-for-1 deal where they like clear Etude as anything valuable. The other part of Etude is that you can use it to synchro summon. So there are several reasons that I think synchro summoning is a bad idea for the Despia deck. Besides the obvious, you can't do it on your own turn. So if you want to play synchro, a synchro package, you have to play this card, and you have to spend like 1 to 2 to 3 extra deck slots on synchro monsters, and that really kills your flexibility in fusion summoning. The extra deck is super tight already, but if you need to shove a Barone in there and one of the newer cards like Despian Luluwalilith or whatever, if you need to shove all that stuff in there, then it's just too much space. It's like 2 to 3 extra deck slots for 1 main deck card. It's like playing 3 instant fusion targets for an instant fusion that's at 1. So it's just not good, and I don't see this card, actually picking up any competitive steam. I think it's kind of fancy that you can now synchro in your branded deck, and that's great. If you want to, try out something new or flex it a little bit, that's fine. But from a competitive standpoint, Etude is just not gonna cut it. That's gonna be it for the main deck stuff. For the extra deck stuff now, so we have Albion the Incandescent Dragon. This card is basically branded expulsion effect on a body. This card takes Fallen of Albaz +1 light spellcaster monster. So you'll notice, I'll just start. First of all, you'll notice that if you look at your Despia end board, you have 1 to 2 monsters that require Albaz's material as your end board. That's it, because you can make one through branded fusion, and then you can make another one through like branded in white. And besides that, it's just not going to happen. You need to end on Mirror Jade. So you are not going to end on this dude, like most of the time. So it requires too much out of your end board for just a mediocre effect, frankly, compared to Mirror Jade. Plus, you could instead end on Mirror Jade and Expulsion through the normal line of play, and not have to spend your extra deck space on this guy, not have to give up a body that will do something else, like Mirror Jade for banish or Rinbrum for a negate. Those cards are just far better than this one. So we're pretty much not going to worry about playing this card. I think it'd be cool to pick up a copy just because it looks awesome. I hope this is a secret or a starlight or something, because it's going to look badass. But besides that, we're not going to be playing this thing. Okay, Despian Luluwalilith. Yeah, so this one is a level 12 synchro. We already talked about how we synchro summon, so we can have Etude up and then synchro using either Blazing Cartesia or Guiding Quem, along with a level 8, which is any of your fusions, or a Bystial Lubellion. So that's kind of cool, but the real way you're going to get this card out is through Grand Guignol, which can summon a Dogmatica or a Despia monster from your extra deck. So this will count. You can go Grand Guignol into Luluwalilith. So this is a card that you can play without going for the full synchro Etude package, which is kind of cool. But we pretty much just have to pick between this card and Quertus and Proskenion as what we want our Grand Guignol target to be. So pretty much this card makes your own monsters gain attack, and then you can negate something on the field. Frankly, I would rather have the Despia fusion monsters. I would rather have Quertus to zero out my opponent's entire board, so that once they've like built their board and are ready to enter battle phase, I can just kind of stop their plays in their tracks altogether. Whereas this one is kind of It's okay, but I don't think it's going to stop anything significant. And it does have a graveyard effect where if it's sent to the graveyard, like during the end phase, you can summon a spellcaster monster with equal attack and defense, and that's pretty much going to be Quem or Blazing Cartesia are the main 2 targets. Of course, you can also do Dogmatica Ecclesia or Incredible Ecclesia and stuff, but we're not playing those. Is this better than Quiritus or Perskinion? I don't think so. Is it arguably? Sure, you could try it. So I would pick this one up. Pick up a copy if you can come across one. But besides that, don't worry about it. Okay, Bystial Dissipator. So I'm just going to include this because it's a new card. It has Bystial in the name. And you can summon it using Etude, using a level 4 tuner and a level 6 Bystial. Broken record, we're not playing Bystials, so we're not playing the level 10 Synchros. So that's about it. It's good, but it's not for this deck right now. Anyways, it's for Dragon Link at the moment for anything else, but it's not for branded because we're not playing Etude, so we're not going to the level 10s. There's also Chaos Angel, which is another great level 10. Barone, we already know as the best level 10, probably the best level 10 there will be for a while, but until we can play level 6 Bystials and depend on going into Etude, I don't think this card is for the branded Despia strategy. So that's about it. Recap, we're going to try to pick up 1 Quem, 1 Luluwalilith, and I think Blazing Branded King is a solid pickup and hold for later. Whether or not we're playing Quem necessarily, I don't know. I'm leaning towards no, but maybe 1. And that's about all I can give. So, yeah, that will pretty much wrap it up for the Cyberstorm Access branded support discussion. Let me know what you guys think. Which cards are you picking up? Do you think I missed the boat on the analysis of these cards? Let me know. We'll see you guys later.